Okay, here's the setting for my AT Max for the test today. I'm going to start in the custom coin 0, and that's the all metal, the true mode, true all metal. That's the deepest that the machine has. I'm going to set my threshold at let me see, at 5. I'm going to keep my iron audio off. My sensitivity is 8 out of 8 bars, so that's 100%, and that's what I'm going to go with for the first test. Hi, I'm going to do an air test here with the 5x8 coil, the double D coil from Garrett. That's one of the favorite ones for a lot of people. A lot of people have said once you put this one on your machine, you'll never take it off. Anyhow, this can be a first for me, so I'm going to start off in the true all metal mode, just as previously, 8 out of 8 bars. That's full sensitivity. Nothing notched out, my ground balance turned off, so I'll just start off with the silver ring. 10, 11, 12, just as quiet. I'm going to go for 11 and a half. The gold ring. It's at 14, 15, 15 and a half, 16, just a barely of a wisp. I'll go for 15. The American nickel. That's 13. We're getting a repeatable signal. 13 and a half. Barely. I'll go for 13. Okay, the musket ball about 1/2 inch in diameter. That's 12, 13, 14. Nothing really at 14. 13. No, 12 and a half, no, 12, barely, 11, 11 and a half, it just picks it up a bit. I'll go for 11. That big bullet, that's 13, 14, 15, 15 and a half, not really, 15, nah, I don't like that either. Yeah, 14, I just start getting a decent whisper out of it. The mercury dime. 13, just a bit of a repeat signal. 14, nothing. 13, a bit. 11, 12, I'll go for 11 on that one too. And that little nugget, and by the way, the optics and the curvature, although this is showing 2, 3 inches, barely at 4. That is at 2 inches. I know all my other videos when I was saying 4, it looks to be like it's coming out at 2, but it is actually at 4. So that's the 5x8 coil. It's pretty decent for such a small coil. Here's my setup I'm going to use for using the Garrett AT Max in discriminate mode. I'll just turn it on, and it's coming on in true all metal, which is the deepest, but I will be going down to custom coins and 0. I'm running at 8 out of 8 bars. That's 100% sensitivity. Usually you can do that with a smaller coil. My threshold will be at at 5, and I'm running it without the iron audio turned on. and that's going to give me my good results. Okay, I'm going to do another test here with the 5x8 double D coil for the Garrett here. I've switched it now over to 0 mode, but that's in discriminate mode. I'm still running 8 out of 8 bars, which is 100% sensitivity. I've got my threshold set at 5. It ground balanced to about 85. It's always sometimes a little bit different with different coils. Usually 80 is what I get around here. So I'm going to start off with my silver ring. So I'm at 10 here, just barely a whisper. 9.5, still getting a nice clear signal. On the gold ring, I'm at 13, 13.5, 14, oh it just starts cutting out, 13.5. I'll give that a 13. The US nickel. $12, getting a little bit. 11, I'm still getting a nice tone. I'll go for 11. The 1/2-inch musket ball. As you notice, as I take it further away, the tones begins to change, so your real deep targets will not read decent VDI, and you'll find that with all metal detectors. So if you want to get the really deep good targets, you have to dig the whispers. There's 9, 10, little bit that 10.5. I'll go for 10. The big bullet here, I'm at 12 now, 13, I kind of lose it at 13. 12, I'm still getting a whisper. The mercury dime, let's see how that does. 10, it's just a barely. 9, I'm still getting a good whisper. And this little gold nugget, the 2x3 millimeter, thin as a piece of paper. Again, the optics might look like it's half of what I'm telling you, but let's just see here. So that's 3, oh, that's 2. That's, whoops, sorry, that's 1, 2. I'm still barely picking it up at 3. I'll go for 2.5.